I think, and Jeff Buckley's not dead.
What, right?
Yeah.
It seems strange that you'd bring him back and then put him near water. That seems incredibly cruel. What kind of a maniac does
Remember
that?
this, Jeff?
Yeah.
Basically, I'm sitting there, I'm pointing at the body of the water and going, now play along.
Yeah.
Or things could go horribly.
Play or you've gone
so
for a
what
swim.
happens? It's like the film of his life. I know the ending and I'll tell him if he doesn't.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. What is your greatest fear?
Needles. I hate needles. They're horrible. Stabby. I once went to support a friend who's having a blood test, and I passed out in the doctor's surgery and knocked over a table of instruments. And apparently she tells me when I woke up that they left the needle in her arm while they went to pick me up.
Wow.
So as far as supporting a friend goes, yeah, not really.
So
supporting.
needles, your biggest fear. Okay, let me just make a note of that.
Right.
Can I just say,
Remember, not to shoot up in front of you.
I'm glad you've gone for a direct thing there. A lot of people answer that question with loneliness or sadness. I like it when people say things like tigers or needles.
Exactly.
Tangible
things.
Yeah.
Which living person, you can't include me in this, which living person do you most admire and why?
Oh, well, I guess everyone says your mum, don't they? Not your mum. Your mum, actually, Stephen.
Well, my mum is great, thanks very much.
Yeah, she's really cool. Yep, no, your mum. I'm going to leave it at that, I think.
Just a mum. A mum of some kind. All right, what's your greatest regret?
Oh, that's really sad, isn't it? That's quite hard. Oh, no, you wouldn't believe it. That's horrible. I once went for a really...
That's obviously the story we want to hear.
I once went for a really, really important lunch. And, you know, some mornings where you wake up and the alarm's going off and you go, snooze, right? I did that this morning, but this was so bad. I actually somehow got invited to have lunch at the Palace with Prince Charles. And I went, but I didn't
Stop. Sorry, you mean that was the important lunch you were going for? You were going to have lunch with Prince Charles?
Yeah, they had
Look at posh Rufus, look how envious he is. He's gone green with envy.
Absolutely furious.
You've
Have
only
you
had
met him?
He's had a brunch. He's had maybe a brunch at best, but never a full sit-down lunch.
Like that.
When I heard the phrase "an important lunch," I thought it meant you just hadn't eaten for a while. You were quite hungry because that's an important lunch.
She was starving.
Yeah, if you don't have it, you're
literally starving. Yeah. But so hang on. So you got invited to have lunch with Prince Charles?
They had like an Aussie day.
Right.
Well, I don't think they called it that. It was before he went to Australia and New Zealand on a visit last year or the year before. And
they thought, are there any Australians in London? No, we can only find a handful.
To be honest, they were scraping my barrel. I was surprised as you were when the invitation arrived. I thought it was a joke, so I RSVP'd yes as a challenge. I thought I'd call their bluff, but no, it was actually that. And but I had a nice outfit on, but I knew that I minged. No shower at the Palace. Can you believe that?
Well, sorry, so I'm a bit. You feel like you've missed out some salient points. So the alarm went off. You snoozed it, and by the time you finally got out of bed, you were running late, were you?
And I had to ring up, and I did that thing where it's like, something happened. What excuse
you had to ring
give?
up Buckingham Palace?
Yeah.
Okay, carry on.
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's
and
weird.
so it wasn't just a one-on-one lunch with Charles. He wasn't just sat there twiddling his thumbs, looking really embarrassed like a lemon in a restaurant somewhere. I do have a date, actually.
Yeah, turning his wine glass around by the stem.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just looking at the fake roses on the table.
No, Delta Goodwin was there and some rugby players. I'm pretty useless, actually. I was talking to this guy. I got lumped with sort of a, not lumped, he's very nice, engaging conversationalist, this sculptor or something. And I said, oh yeah, where's your sculpty stuff? And
where's your sculpty stuff?
Yep. And he went, oh, you know, the Imperial War Museum out the front of that, on the roundabout, did that. And I was like, oh. And then he went, so what's your comedy like? Where do you play? And I was like, mainly above pubs in a small room, or sometimes below pubs in a small room. It's going really well. Yeah. Thanks for asking. Yeah.
That's the cellar of pubs. You've sometimes performed in the cellar of pubs. So I still don't quite understand, and this is no disrespect to you, but why were you invited?
Basically, there's another Australian comedian who
and they thought it was her?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. But I had actually met someone at a party who worked for the Australian High Commission, and I think he may have put my name forward as a joke.
Right.
He didn't know I'd go. It was great, actually. When I got there, they offered me a glass of wine. And they said, what would you like? And I was like, house?
Palace, glass of Palace.
Yeah, Palace Whites. Yeah, it's great. It's really weird. And when I got there too, there was really sort of, you could tell I was a bit flustered. I looked nice, but he said to me, was your driver late? And I was thinking, yeah, the tube driver that drove me. I literally am the only person here today who took the train. Oh boy. Oh.
Wow, that's extraordinary. And well, I mean, I can imagine there's only innumerable stories about Charles, what he was wearing.
It's very nice.
I'm sure
yeah,
he was very
swore. He said a rude word starts with B, but mild rude word. One your dad says, basically.
Bugger.
Rhymes with...
Oh, bloody.
Did I get away with that? Can I say that? Oh, great, sweet.
Oh,
he said that. He's fun.
It's good to know he's down with the kids.
Yeah, I shook his
using
hand.
earthy language.
Yeah.
Listen, we have to crack on because I know you've brought in a tune for us. That's very much one of the reasons we have people on the show is to bring in music. What can you introduce me to today?
This is a Glaswegian art school band from around 2000. They had one album. They're called Life Without Buildings. And I once played this in like a club. I was DJing, to about 10 people. No one was there. And this boy came up. It was in London, and he came up to me and he proposed to me because I played this. He went, "Will you marry me? How do you know about this band?" And I turned to him and said, "How do you know about this band?"
Sure.
He was, I didn't marry him. I don't even know who that was. He's gone. But they're fantastic. They're
Hey,
really
if you're listening today, 64046, are you still seeking for a loved one? Stephen.6music@music.co.uk. Get in touch. What's the name of the tune?
It's called PS Exclusive, and post-punk sort of stuff, but she's weird. She's mad, the lead singer. She's sort of like a beat poet, but it's lovely. Post-punk stuff.
Let's hear it. Life Without Buildings, PS Exclusive, the choice of Sarah, our CJ nominee for today. Thank you very much indeed. I've enjoyed it. It's added a different dimension to today's show, and that's always what I'm looking for.
Cool,
Thank you very much indeed. Listen, I have to rattle on because we've got a bit of business to take care of before we get on to the Rufus Wainwright exclusive, which apparently has got the message boards aflame. It's good to know that people care about such things, and I'm very, very excited indeed. But we were earlier talking off the back of Harry's email about songs which are perhaps causing films. Was it films?
Yes.
Films that are causing division in households across the UK. You've had a couple of texts and emails, Ruth.
That's right. For those who are listening from 3 o'clock this afternoon to the Steve Show would have heard Harry's email in which he described finally watching the game 10 years after Steve recommended it to him. And we then...
Thanks for getting around to it, mate.
Yeah.
It's good to see that you take my opinions you got they're held in such high esteem.
The thing is, Steve, you get very excited about things, and I like to let you calm down because you might just be recommending it for the sake of it.
If I'm still raving 10 years later, you feel it's probably worth bothering.
Yeah.
So we had an anonymous text saying, "You've just ruined the end of the film for me. Here I'm waiting till the end of the show to watch the film The Game, and you just shout out the end. Why'd you go and do that?"
To be fair, the only reason I emailed in and talked about the game because I thought there wouldn't be anyone who hadn't seen it. Although, to be fair, I've not seen The Shawshank Redemption. I once borrowed it off someone, had it for 3 years, never got around to watching it, and he said, "Look, I need it back." So I gave it back. I've still not watched it. Apparently it's all right.
Well, do you know what? That's radio magic, because that's what the next email's about.
Yeah.
This one's from Daniel. He says, "I once ceased all contact with a girl purely for the reason she didn't like the film The Shawshank Redemption and walked out halfway through. Also, it was unexpectedly revealed to me on the same evening that her favourite film of all time was Runaway Bride with Julia Roberts. And her favourite band was UB40. I just can't be associated with someone with such obviously poor taste. I'd rather die alone and go without sex forever."
I once did a brief bit of filming on something, and I was stood next to an extra, and he said to me, "What do you do normally?" I said, "Oh, I'm involved with radio. I do a lot of radio." He said, "What, you like music?" I went, "Yeah." He went to a gig the other night. It was the best live gig I've ever seen. I went, "Who was it?" He went, "UB40. He went, "You will not see another band like them live." And he said it literally blew him away.
I bet they're tight.
Really?
Yeah. I
I walked out of UB40 in Melbourne.
Really?
Yeah, got free tickets, and I never do that because I'm always on broke.
Sure.
And nope, walked out.
I imagine he's just kind of fairly plodding.
Just
chugs along.
loads of old people, fists in the air, red wine, and
And how many band members? About 19 or something?
polyphonic spree of
Of cod reggae.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like to be the Campbells about now.
I know.
We've come down a ton of bricks. So before we get to the Rufus Wainwright exclusive, then I need to play a tune for those that are compiling their Songs to Seduce Women by CD, based on my suggestions. And we've had a couple of crackers of late. And this is one by the band Aqualung, aka Matt Hales, who apparently has got a new album out called Memory Man. And obviously a lot of people are saying, why aren't I playing a song from that new album? Because I haven't been sent the new album, have I? That's why I'm playing this one, Brighter Than Sunshine. Aqualung, Brighter Than Sunshine, the track that I'm adding to this week's compilation, The Songs to Seduce Women by CD, which now must have quite a lot of tracks. 18 odd songs? It's a big old album, this. Good luck, those of you compiling it and leaving it on a hotties desk. And do let us know how you get on with it. 64046 Stephen.6music@bbc.co.uk. Have you won her heart?
I'm also wondering what sort of girl would take 18 months to seduce, you know? Someone saying, that girl Sarah in accounts, I fancy the pants of her. In March 2008, I'm going to present her with a compilation tape.
Well, I mean, Either that or just dribble the tracks through, you know, week by week, just MP3 them through, you know. That would just be really creepy. But obviously don't use your name or your own handwriting, so make sure you enclose a CD in an envelope and just cut out the letters from a newspaper or magazine.
Wear some gloves while you're doing it as well.
Or just email it from I've been watching you at hotmail.com.
Exactly.
So it's an anonymous email. What could be more romantic?
Or somehow cut off someone's skin and layer it over your own, thus laying the finger of blame literally somewhere else.
Oh,
I'm turned on.
But I suspect the reason you're turned on is not because of that filthy, disgusting conversation, but rather because we're going to play this new exclusive track by Rufus Wainwright.
It's wonderful, isn't he?
It's a world exclusive. I don't know why they've given it to us, but we're deeply appreciative. Harry, you've just joined us, just to let you know now that for some reason they have allowed us to be the first person to play this track. It's the opening track from Rufus Wainwright's 5th album, Release the Stars. It's out Monday the 14th of May, and the track is Do I Disappoint You? Well, if that's the opening track,
It's exhausting.
where's he got to go with the rest of the album? Man alive, you'd already be exhausted. You have to go and have a little lie down.
It's too
Listening to a bit of ambient music just to chill out from that track alone. Man alive, I enjoyed it, but goodness me, you can't imagine what's left to do on the album. He's used everything, he's thrown everything in the mix there, hasn't he?
I hope we've got a 35-minute track by The Orb coming up, so I need to calm down.
Just to relax.
That got me
yeah.
going too much.
Harry, what was your take on that track?
I thought it was fantastic, epic. Yeah, I mean, it was really, really enjoyable. I'd love to hear the rest of it, perhaps with no other stimuli whatsoever,
Exactly, yeah.
so I can just get along with it.
Do I Disappoint You is the name of the track. It's the opening number from his 5th album, Release the Stars, out Monday the 14th of May. It was, of course, Rufus Wainwright. We have a Rufus of our own. Rufus, what did you make of it?
I thought it was extraordinary, and we mustn't forget that Rufus's albums are beautifully crafted pieces of... Stick it down. Much like you started the show with a long and extended Lutheran pastor metaphor, I'm going to continue my chef metaphor, and I might even do that really annoying thing that really lazy reviewers do, which is take a little bit of Beatles, sprinkle liberally with Bob Dylan, place under an ambient deep soul grill for half an hour. No, but I think that much like anyone who knows Want To, what the extraordinary thing about Want To is there were kind of strange little kind of outtakes and live kind of rather strangely recorded, strange the way it was put together was bizarre. It was almost like a sorbet after the main course, a palate cleanser and a amuse-bouche. And I think this album, if that is the first track and it's to go by, I think the next track will be a kind of kooky little kind of sonata, and the third one will be some sort of rock kind of classic, and the next one will be some sort of glam orchestral. I think it'll all kind of swirl around and make a nice kind of tasty smorgasbord. I don't know, I've gone...
I didn't understand any of that. I didn't understand any of that.
I don't know. People are just wandering through the dial. They've just heard that. They have no idea what that is.
Yeah, what's on sport at the moment?
And Sarah, what was your take on it?
I liked it. You can almost see it live, can't you? You can see there's a flautist there, isn't there? That was nice. I can see it. He's going to be mincing about. He'll be wearing some sort of lame. Yeah.
A Wizard of Oz costume of some sort. Yeah.
Bolero, maybe. Yep. It's good. I liked it.
Well, I think it's got the thumbs up, so well done, Rufus. He was probably waiting for our take on his particular song before he even puts the album out. He was going to withdraw all copies if we didn't give it 4 stars, but we have. We've given it 6 bags of popcorn, 3 dogs, whatever they use in newspapers. No, I think Johnny Vaughan uses dogs in his movie reviews.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's just all thought through, this stuff that I come out with. It's just that no one else understands it.
The references are fairly
It's a small place
obscure.
to be. Indeed. It's a six music. It's the Six Music show with Stephen Merchant. I've just played the thingy and then there's something else. Let's calm down after
Six Music.
Co-written by Billy Corgan of the Smashing Pumpkins, that's Hole, and Celebrity Skin from 1997. It's the Steve Show, BBC Six Music with me, Stephen Merchant. I have with me as well Harry, Rufus, and our CJ nominee for today, Sarah, who we've been enjoying her company. But it's time now to enjoy the company of one of you, the listeners, because, of course, much as I'm introducing music to you, such as Rufus Wainwright, and I've also been instructed to say hello to the people listening who are on the Rufus Wainwright message board, so hopefully they enjoyed that track. Maybe they've not heard it yet, so I'm sure they've recorded it illegally and are passing it amongst each other as we speak. And you shouldn't do that, guys. You should wait for the album to come out. When is it coming out, Jude?
May the 14th.
May the 14th is when it's coming out, and you can buy it then. Anyway, yes, so we would like to speak to one of you, the listeners. You recommend a tune to us, and that way it becomes interactive and fulfills a number of BBC objectives. So who have we got on the line? Hello?
Hello, Stephen.
Your name, Stephen, or my name? I'm already confused. What's your name, sir?
My name's Paul.
Paul, hello, Paul. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from a place called Walkwith, which is on the Northumberland coast.
Okay.
We're out on the beach at the moment. It's very nice.
You're out on the beach?
Yeah.
Oh, that's very nice. Are you on your own? Are you with your family?
We're with the family. I've got my 3 kids, my wife, and we're with a couple of friends and their 3 children as well. They've got a caravan here, which is right on the beach as well, and it's a lovely place. There's only about 2 people on the beach I can see, and it stretches for about 2 miles, so
Beautiful.
fantastic.
Is it a bit chilly?
Really. No, sun's out, it's lovely.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is it a sandy beach or a pebbly beach?
It's a sandy beach.
That's all right, because, I was disappointed recently I went on the beach, it was pebbly. It's always a disappointment, isn't it, when you get somewhere there's a pebbly beach?